So it's the 21st of March 2020. The world has well and truly destabilized as a result of COVID-19. And I'm sitting here with Edmund, who's in the pen alone, and as I've said in a previous video, the plan has been for some time to send him down to a neighbouring property because we don't have internal fencing here and I can't keep him away from his daughters, so I need to move him off the property for a good 6 months or so, probably for the rest of the year now. And the plan was to move him off a couple of weeks ago, and then foolishly I didn't factor in the fact that I was having a little mole removed from my back, and there were some stitches, and in fact they're still in now, but I had it done last Friday, and so anyway, I wasn't able to get in there and wrangle him for fear of busting the stitches. I'm not sure that I can do it today, but I would really like to move him. And so I've got him in the pen. The ewes are sitting down by the boundary fence with the lambs. And once he realized that they were gone, he really went into stress mode. Now I should add that I did have them, a few of them in the pen this morning. The gate wasn't even closed, and something spooked them. And I'm pretty sure it was one of the lambs, but it may have been Edmund because Mark says he saw it. One of them actually jumped and hit me on the brow. It's left me with a nice shiner, and possibly I'll have a black eye tomorrow, but never mind. But the really interesting thing is, I'm just sitting here quietly at the moment. I've come over to try and calm him a bit. And I can't believe really that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, because my sensible, maybe rational mainstream self is urging me not to, but the fact is I'm sitting here quietly until I took this little video, which I'll keep very short, and I'm doing my very best to send this little ram the calmest energy I possibly can. And I'm trying to let him know that nothing bad is going to happen to him, and in fact only good is going to happen to him, in the sense that he's going to go to a place just down the road. There's about 20 ewes waiting for him, and that then he's going to come back. And I'm trying to just tell him to relax and that everything's going to be okay. And strangely enough, perhaps it isn't so strange, but I mean, I guess we're all sharing energy all the time. But whatever it is, and for whatever reason, he has relaxed. And a couple of times he's actually come up right to the corner here and stood with his nose on the mesh, sort of indicating that he wants to be mates. Now I'm under no misapprehension that when I go in there and I put the halter on him, as I have done, that we'll be at war for a minute. But I'm trying to make this as easy on him as is possible. And easy on me too. Anyway, we'll see how we go. It's nice to see the bees out. Feeding on some of the nectar from this eucalypt. There's quite a lot of them, but kind of hard to catch. I think they're just honeybees, not native bees. This is just a eucalypt just by the orchard. So poor old Edmund. The halter is on. Good boy, Edmund. Good boy. Not thrilled about it. So it's hey mama. It's looking like he might well make the move today, which is and probably not before time, because these lambs are mounting each other today and then sort of exhibiting tendencies which suggest for the ewe lambs that they might be sort of almost in a light heat, by which I mean after they've been mounted or they've mounted one of the other lambs, then they do a wee, and I know that's kind of the behaviour that the ewes do when they seem to be receptive to Edmund. He'll sniff them or try and mount them, and then they'll urinate just near to him, and then he'll do his sort of lip response. Poor bugger. He's obviously feeling a bit annoyed. Sorry, buddy. But it'll be so good for him to go and be with this other flock. And as I said, I think there are about 20 ewes down there, and perfect time for him to be joined with them as well, because sort of 5 months gestation. That would have this new flock of ewes lambing right at the start of spring, which is kind of perfect time. And hopefully, he hasn't yet bred my 2 ewes, and even more hopefully hasn't bred his daughters. And if our neighbour was so inclined, and if we could manage it, I would be inclined to also give her that ewe, not the lamb, but the ewe, such that I'd be left with this ewe here, who's getting a bit old now, I think, and then the 3 lambs from this, I guess last year, but this, what I call this season's lambs, and what I might do at the end of the year before Edmund came back is I might see if I can purchase another ewe of the same breed that Edmund is, a Harlequin mini meat sheep ewe. And then Edmund can come back toward the end of the year, and the process will start again. But before that happens, it's my great hope that we have some internal fencing in, so that we can avoid the difficulties that we've had, which I always knew we were going to have. It's a good-looking lamb, this one. She's quite big. This is the single lamb. So she's a bit bigger than the twins, and she has a nice shape. As crazy as you like, really wild. And then this is the ewe I'd be happy to move on. She also is a bit wild. She'd break your legs if you got between her and the gate. So she's bad-mannered. She only produced one lamb as opposed to the other ewe, who's far more docile and produced two. I still love her, but I'd be okay for her to move on. Okay, stay tight, buddy. So, whilst it has been a bit difficult. Mark's up there working on the pond. Gosh, it's deep and big. Whilst it has been sort of a bit difficult in terms of how to manage the sheep effectively and keep up good husbandry and look after them well, in the sense that we're a bit behind the game in terms of having the infrastructure, the ideal infrastructure. I think it was the right decision, to sort of jump in head first. Getting the ewes a couple of years ago was no drama. Getting the ram was a big step and probably a risky step, and probably premature. We probably weren't quite ready, but you take a gamble on these things, and nothing terrible has happened. Nothing's gone wrong, and for the most part, it's worked okay. And I don't regret it at all. And I really, I went through a phase where I didn't love Edmund so much. He seemed at a particular age to be exhibiting characteristics which made me think he was a bit mean. He was a bit rough with the ewes at one point, I thought. And there were occasions where he would give you a look to make you think that he was going to have a go at you as well. But that has passed. And then what I observed with him is that he was really protective of the ewes when they had their lambs. He's really quite gentle with the lambs, still is, in fact, and he seems to bond, or seems to hang with the little ram, now weathered lamb, mostly, which is good. And when I put that headstall on him today, and I was working in that yard with him alone, he could charge at me. He could try to injure me, and my sheep handling skills are not as they should be. I'm no great shepherd by any stretch of the imagination, and so he could probably get one up on me, but he doesn't take the opportunity to do it, and ultimately he lets me fumble and do what I need to do, put that headstall on him, and so I think actually he's a pretty good natured ram, and so I'm eager to have him back after he's gone off to this other farm. Be really happy to see what lambs he throws with these other ewes, and then bring him back and keep him for a few more years yet. I should just get on camera the fact that today I brought the roses from the courtyard out, so I think we've all the roses that were in the pots, so a yellow rose and a pink rose, both hybrid tea I think. I brought them out. So now we've got the two de Ronsard roses either side of the gate. We've got the Camp David red rose. It is actually a hybrid tea. I thought it was a David Austin, but it's a hybrid tea. And I showed some roses from that a little while ago. That came from a bargain bin. And then this is the yellow rose here. I have tried something in this corner before, and it didn't do well. And I thought that it was perhaps a bit dry. So I think there is some risk putting it there, but I've watered it in well. I'll mulch it. There is compost. It's been dug in with compost, so hopefully it will be okay. I should probably cut it back more, but it was a bit limp when I put it in there, and already in just an hour or so it has it's just something moving on the ground by me then, and it's just a little skink. Already it's stood back up and taken up the water. And then finally this rose, which is not doing so well actually. It's also a hybrid tea, a pink rose called Carla. Hopefully might have a bit of a real black spot, sort of fungal issue, because I can see it in the stem, which is probably not ideal. But give it a chance, see what happens. Okay, gonna make some tea. Oh, the tea tree is alive, which I'm very happy about. I wouldn't say it's terribly healthy, but it's not dead, which is really good. So hopefully by spring. And it was a good thing that we took those pears off, because something got in and ate them all. I might give that to Edmund actually. He's been so good. Hey buddy, you want a pear? You want a pear? Yeah, that's good. Got it? There you go. Good job. What about a little apple? I don't think these apples are going to do much anyway. Here you go. You can have this one as well. Don't worry. You want that one? No, don't butt me. No. Good boy. Good boy. See ya. So the neighbour is on her way with the horse float, and plan is I'll get her to park up the top above the house site, and might get Mark to come down and just potentially give me a hand, even if just to watch from the outside. I will go in and wrangle him. What I'm going to do is try and use this bit of rope here. I'm also going to just hobble him hobble his front legs so that he can't, or he's less able to walk, or run rather, but he's fairly restricted in his movements, and I might even put another rope on him, and then I don't know, with Mark's assistance perhaps, I might see if I can walk him up the top and into the horse float. I think what I'll do is get a bucket of feed, and then hopefully they will all sort of walk up, and he might just sort of walk up with them. I don't know. It's not going to be terribly easy. He's a bit irritated. And then once he's in the float, then I think either at this end or the other end, then I can just take the headstall off. And the hobble, if the bit of rope, if he's wearing them. It's only just, it's like, it'd be tops 2Ks down the road, so it's not far at all. It's a beautiful day today. The other sheep just going up the top, but they'll quickly come if I rattle a feed bin. Good boy, Edmund. I'll be really happy if this comes off, if this actually works, and I think it's going to. So this is Edmund, just arrived at his new place. So Edmund's just seen the new flock, and he's run straight to them, forgotten all about his woes. Don't know if you can really see that or not. Seems to be rounding them up. So that's it. End of the day. Edmund has gone. It's about 20 to 8 now. Just watered the little apple tree at the front. Just looking pretty good. You seem fine. Edmund seems as happy as Larry, having met his new flock and bred some of the ewes already. Happened so quick. I expect he might get around a good few of them before the sun rises again. And all is well. Now we've got to get on with a few extra jobs. Comes Mark. Got to get these, got to extend this driveway and get these external fences in.